Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a Thursday night live stream. And tonight we're going to be celebrating the channel breaking 60,000 subscribers, which means that one of you guys are going to walk away tonight with a $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store. So that's my way of trying to say thanks to all you guys who subscribe to the channel, and more specifically you guys who tune in and watch all the videos, or most of the videos at least, that I put out there. So big thanks to everybody. I want to get to 100,000. That's kind of, since I started this channel, that was kind of always like a goal that I had in my head. It's probably going to still be a while before we get to that benchmark, but 40 more thousand to go. And I don't even know if YouTube still does the little, sends out the little trophy things when you hit 100,000, but that's kind of always been my goal, is to break 100,000. But I want to thank everybody who's tuned in tonight. So let's do a little quick roll call here, see who's here. Everett, of course, is in the house. Welcome, Everett. Everett's wondering what company is going to make 6-inch Flintstone figures. I don't know. Let's see. Hanzo is in the house. What's up? Aaron's in the house. Thank you, my friend. Jay Vizzle, what's up? Thank you. Michael is in the house. The Goopa, I don't know if he's still here, but thanks, man. Thanks for dropping in to congratulate on the 60,000 mark. Much appreciated. Henry G is in the house. Welcome. Anonymous Dude. Paul Morales, what's up? Zim ordered his. Not sure what he ordered, but coming in March. Whatever you ordered, I guess it'll be there before March. See some She-Hulk talk going on. I have not yet seen the first episode of She-Hulk. I plan on watching it after the live stream tonight, so no spoilers here, please. I've seen mixed reviews, but for the most part, I think at least people that I know, or at least know are real people, seem to have said it was pretty good. D, thanks, man. Much appreciated. Matthew, always love new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. Hope you enjoy it here. 3M says, if any company did make 6-inch Flintstone figures, it would probably just get Betty Rubble and maybe Fred. You think we would get Betty before we got Wilma or Barney? I think we would get at least Fred and Barney. Maybe Fred, Wilma, and Barney. No, Michael, I've not yet watched that. I probably won't get to CGI He-Man until this weekend, so. She-Hulk's green? What? I thought she was gray, man. Thanks for spoiling it. Thank you, Neil. Yeah, I forget how long ago it was when the channel hit 50,000, so but at least it's at least been a year since I hit that mark. Sometimes I'm like, man, this channel needs to grow faster, and then sometimes I'm like, man, I can't believe I've got 60,000 people who have subscribed to my channel. And obviously, it's not like 60,000. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people who subscribed when I first started the channel that probably have moved on, probably don't even collect action figures anymore or what have you. So, who knows how many of those out of those 60,000 are actually still active subscribers. My videos usually seem, on a good day, break around 10,000 views. So, But even like, I mean, think about it. If you had 10,000 people like listening to what you said, I mean, in the world of YouTube, I guess that's pretty small, right? But you know, just thinking about like, you know, out there in the real world, if you had like, you know, even 1,000 people, I mean, to be absolutely honest, if you had 1,000 people listening to what you were saying and taking an interest, I mean, that would be a lot of people. So it's always kind of like a perspective thing. You know, again, like in the world of YouTube, you know, a large YouTuber obviously gets like millions of views and has hundred thousands of subscribers and stuff. So it's easy to kind of like, ups, 60,000's nothing. But, you know, especially, you know, a guy who just sits around talking about action figures and collectibles. I mean, you know, I, I feel like that's a pretty good, you know, that's a pretty good benchmark to have broken. And the truth is, I mean, YouTube is something I do kind of on the side. I mean, you know, I spend most of my time, you know, running the websites. And I mean, the websites statistic wise, I mean, they reach, you know, if you I have 4 websites that I run, and you know, they average as a whole network, you know, usually over 1 million people a month. So yeah, I mean, again, it's like it's just kind of mind blowing sometimes when you think about it. But I'm gonna, as a thank you to you guys, especially you guys who again are here like every week. You come into the live streams and you know watch the video, my news videos on a regular basis and things like that. I'm gonna give away $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store tonight. So gonna do the formula where just towards the end, I'm just going to randomly scroll through all the comments and select one person, and then that person will have 24 hours to reach out to me through my email and claim the prize. And I'll have the email in the video description when this becomes a regular video. I'll tell you at the end of the video as well what the email is. But basically, you claim the prize, and then you know, Big Bad Toy Store will set you up with $100 store credit. So that's kind of my way of saying thanks to all you guys. And you know, whether you're in the US or not, you know, you can enter this one. So again, towards the end of the stream, probably, you know, as we get close, I'm going to try and keep this one to about an hour tonight. So probably, you know, as we get close to the 8 o'clock hour, I'll do the drawing. It'll just be a random drawing. So KB, yes, I did give away a his tank back when the campaign first kind of started. So yes, and I ended up, I did end up. So I backed a total of 3 his tanks, 2 for myself, one that I will open, and then one I'm probably going to keep in the packaging, and then of the third one, of course, I gave away. But yeah, I ended up backing a total of 3 his tanks for that campaign. I did, we gave away a Sky Striker, I think, here on YouTube when they were doing that one. And I think, I can't remember if we did a Galactus giveaway or not. Oops. But yeah, I try and give back to you guys because, I mean, without you guys, whether it's you going to the websites or you coming here and watching me on YouTube or, you know, whatever, you know, without you guys, it wouldn't matter what I did or said. So, Turtle Dave says $100 is 4 Masters of the Universe figures on Big Bad Toy Store. And of course, you know, or, you know, it's a down payment on, you know, something more expensive. I mean, you know, I've always, you know, ever since I did the websites, like we've done a regular, yeah, we do the contests on a monthly basis on our forums, you know, where we give away like store credits. Used to be like just $50 store credits. Of course, $50 used to get you a lot more back in the day. You know, 20 years ago, $50 got you more. But you know, we do those contests on the forums every month. So I've always tried to, you know, give back to you guys as much as, you know, possible. So Kinda, yeah. Blake. I mean, Blake has been a heavy contributor with the super chat donations. So, I mean, yeah, definitely. When you guys do that, again, I kind of just try and recycle that. But yeah, Blake definitely helped out a lot with some of those contests that we've done here on YouTube. I don't know if Blake's here tonight. I haven't seen him chime in tonight, but yeah, Blake has been an amazing guy with his donations and stuff here. So I mean, when you guys even like donate like $1 or $2 or something, to me that's amazing. But Blake has just he's been crazy generous in the past with his donations. Red Knock Ronson. Am I gonna back the Eternity playset? I mean, I'm waiting to get the details and stuff, but I am probably not, just because that's never been a favorite playset of mine. I mean, it's been impressive as far as the size and stuff, but it was never one. I never owned the original. I've seen the original. I've seen it like on display at some vintage toy stores and stuff, so it looks pretty cool. But I have no space for that thing. I mean, that thing, I would have no place to put that. So I probably will not end up backing that one, just because I mean, if it had been my choice for playsets, I would have rather got like a Snake Mountain. I think would have been cooler. I mean, I don't think necessarily they would need to do the crowdsourcing route for Snake Mountain, but I kind of feel like I would have rather had Snake Mountain over the Eternia playset. But then again, I didn't grow up on He-Man toys. I don't have the nostalgia for that one, so um, I certainly can understand those who are excited for that one. Now, again, I'm not going to make a final decision until I see what the price is and possibly what the stretch goals will be. If there was some really cool stretch goal that they threw in and the price wasn't like outrageous, then, I could end up changing my mind. But right now, I am leaning towards not backing that one. The Fright Zone, yeah, I would have rather had Snake Mountain than the Fright Zone. I've never had a Snake Mountain playset. They've released Castle. I didn't collect Masters of the Universe back in the day as a kid, so I never had any of those original playsets. But Castle Grayskull has been released multiple times over the years, so I have the Origins Castle Grayskull playset. I've had the 2000X Castle Grayskull playset. I did not get the Classics Castle Grayskull playset, but I was tempted to get that one, and I didn't get the classic Snake Mountain. But that's the only time the classic Snake Mountain through Super 7 was the only time Snake Mountain has been released since the original playset, if I'm not mistaken. So, and I'm not counting that Netflix He-Man one that they've done recently. But Rick something, thanks man, much appreciated. So, answer that question right now, leaning towards not backing that one. I just, space is so many. I've got the Thunder Tank coming. I've got I've got the GI Joe, 3 3/4 inch Sky Striker coming. I've got the His Tank coming, 2 His Tanks coming. I've got Galactus coming. I've got the Turtle Van from NECA coming. I'm pretty interested in those sewer diorama playsets that NECA's doing. So unless they're like outrageously priced, I'm probably gonna end up getting those. So it's just to the point where space is becoming a very limited commodity. Rick, what do I think about canceling orders of re-releases of figures like the clone? I've heard. I saw a video Nerdzoic put out, and I received an email on the. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen like I saw. I think Entertainment Earth was the first one to cancel those. So I don't know what's going on with that. I haven't looked that closely into that. I did not. I didn't pre-order any of those. So I don't know what. I don't know if that was a miscommunication. I don't know if somebody screwed up and that wasn't ever meant those figures were never meant to go up for pre-order or what. So I have not followed it closely enough to really know. And I even saw something where like Big Bad Toy Store had then, after everyone else was canceling, and then Big Bad Toy Store had opened a pre-order or something like that, or said like I don't know. So it definitely was kind of weird, but it sounds like somebody screwed up and and put out a solicitation for something either before they were supposed to or were never supposed to, and so they ended up having to cancel that stuff. KB, you haven't gotten your Cobra Troopers from Big Bad yet? Which one, the original ones or the Cobra Officer? I've got Stalker coming. Um, he should be here either this weekend or early next week. So I got him from a Canadian e-tailer. I paid like $35 for it, so I paid a little bit more, but I was like, screw it. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands on Stalker. And then I think Big Bad Toy Store is going to start shipping out Fire Lord for Marvel Legends here. So I think they started sending out shipping notifications for that one. Anonymous dude, a pizza party. I'm giving away, we're celebrating tonight. I'm giving away $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store to one of you guys. So no pizza, but yeah, if you win the, I guess I was gonna say, if you win the $100 store credit, you could buy us all pizza, but I don't think Big Bad Toy Store sells pizza, so I don't know. Mike says Walmart's gonna be swole with Fiona and Crocman. I I was just at Walmart this morning. That, other than a couple of the movie stuff, my Walmart had nothing for GI Joe Classified. Um, but my Walmart completely sucks. They did have a couple of parallaxes for the DC Multiverse, which is, of course, is the one recent Walmart exclusive that I'm not that interested in. I don't really like the head sculpt on that one, and I've already got the Green Lantern Hal Jordan, so I felt like I didn't really need a second Hal Jordan. But I definitely want the Nightfall Batman, but of course they didn't have that one. But no GI Joe Classified at all at my Walmart, and the only thing my Target has had for GI Joe Classified is, again, a couple of movie figures and then like a Gung Ho figure. So um, trying to find GI Joe Classified at physical stores around here is just like near impossible. Oh, and my Walmart did have those DC Superpower figures, the first wave, just the first wave, but the Dark Side Superman, Batman, and then the two vehicles. Like they had a ton of those things, man. Those things I think are going to be, if my Walmart had that many of them, then my guess is those things are going to be collecting dust on the pegs pretty soon. Bean says, I'm hoping McFarlane gives us another Kyle Rayner Green Lantern with the correct green colors. I have not been able to force myself to buy the one with the lime green. I just cannot stand that green that they gave the Kyle Rayner figure. If they give us a darker green one, I will buy that one. But I don't know why they chose that light green. Mike says, people saying Target's going to have the Spidey two packs. Which Spidey two packs are you referring to? But I did see that some reports of people finding some of the 60th anniversary stuff, like the Iron Spider-Man. So if you're talking about like one of those, yeah, it sounds like Target is starting to get those figures in stock. Damien, has Marvel Select said anything about windowless packaging? You mean Diamond Select for Marvel Select, the Marvel Select line? I not that I'm aware of, not to me anyway. Neil says he loves. What is the? I mean, he's never had that shade of color of green in the comics. I don't know. It just bothers me. I don't like. Where Nar says, where's the Mezco '89 Batman? I think Ezra Miller stole it, so I think we probably should blame him for that not shipping yet. Garrett, I don't know if you look at the back. I just got my Owlman figure. It came in the mail the other day. I saw it in the Target store as well. But so I just got that one not too long ago, and I was looking on the back of the packaging, and the silhouette of it looks pretty normal. So I'm thinking maybe I forget his exact name, but the version of Flash, the evil version of Flash, not the Reverse Flash, but whatever. Uh, but that's what I'm thinking. I think it's probably going to be like the Flash, maybe, or maybe the Green Lantern guy, the Coward guy. I forgot. I'm forgetting those guys' names, but he definitely he doesn't. The silhouette is very plain looking. So which color? The black and red one is getting my vote for the Hiss technician on the Hiss tank. 3M says the only one. Honestly, I wanted it for the Starro. The figures themselves, Owlman actually doesn't look too bad, but I wasn't too impressed with the other two. So it was really for the. I've been getting those for the Starro. Henry G says, other than the crazy paint, the Blackest Night wave is off. I agree. The other figures, I'm not super keen on those versions of those characters per se, but as far as how they look, I agree. They did look good. Do I think Mezco's going to still do Dick Tracy? I forget. Was that one that they teased? I've lost track with Mezco. But if they teased it at some point, they'll probably put it up for pre-order, whether we ever actually see it or not. I have no idea, but yeah, I agree that because I think it's going to be the Flash, the Crime Syndicate version of the Flash. Somebody chime in on his name because that's annoying me that I can't think of his name. But oh man, that his you got your money's worth with that his tank, man. I don't know what you're talking. You People have nothing to complain about on the price of that his tank. Awesome vehicle, electronic lights that look really good on it. Four figures, four 6-inch figures. I mean that is just something like that. A HasLab like that, it just doesn't get any better. And it was $300. It wasn't like, $500 or $600 or something. The figures alone, based on today's market prices, would have been, a couple $100 in their own right. Not really a couple hundred, but it would have been over $100. Yeah, Power Ring, the cow, and he got killed, right? And then the female, the ring went to the girl. But John Don says, and he regrets not ordering the his tank. And that's the thing about the his tank is those things are only going to go up in value. I mean, I didn't buy the second one specifically to resell it, but if down the road I decide to sell it, I will get my money back. I almost guarantee it. So, I mean, obviously, if money's tight for you and stuff, I wouldn't recommend getting it, but it's not like if you bought one, it's going to go down in value. Something like that's only going to go up. So Red Knockem wants Rat King. I'm sure Super 7 will give us Rat King at some point. Joseph, sorry man, you weren't able to get one. It does, but maybe down the road, even if you end up paying more, you'll be able to get one. Like I'm hoping the packaging. I mean, I'm guessing the packaging is going to kind of look like the original his tank packaging, but I hope it has some like cool artwork on it. So I mean, this is the first time where I've bought two HasLabs. I like the Sentinel. I only bought one for myself at least. So I don't know. The his tank just was like, yeah. I mean, right now, and maybe some people might be like, "Oh, who's just like shilling?" But I mean, I'm just like, I'm super pumped for GI Joe Classified. So right now, everything GI Joe Classified to me is just awesome. It's like the best line out there. So it would be hard for Classified to do wrong at this point. Though I will tell you on my Dr. Mindbender that I got, I was a little disappointed about the cape and the dye like coming, like bleeding onto the figure's skin. So Mike, that's a pretty good deal for a Sentinel if you saw it for 350. Turtle Dave couldn't understand why it took so long for Hasbro to release a GI Joe line. Well, I think it's because GI Joe has not had a lot of retail support. What's up, Rodney? And as much as I love GI Joe Classified and really do think it's probably the best action figure line going right now, I will tell you that it does not. The fact that the HasLab his tank had over 25,000. I mean, that's really good because I guarantee you there's a lot more people out there collecting stuff like Marvel Legends and even Star Wars Black Series. Even though, like, to me, Star Wars has really just been like uninspirational. I don't know what it is with Star Wars, but it's just like I I've not been very excited for Star Wars here in the last couple years as far as like the products go. And it's not even to say like, oh, well, the products have really sucked, even though I do think they've way overdone the repaints and stuff. But but I will tell you there are a lot more Marvel Legend collectors out there than there are GI Joe Classified or just GI Joe collectors period. GI Joe has a vocal fan base, but I don't think they have the numbers that other lines like Marvel and Star Wars and such have. So um, that plays a role in it. But to me it was really impressive. I mean, I was really hoping, I didn't think it was going to happen, but I was like kind of really hoping that the his tank would end up getting more subscribe or more backers than the Galactus, just because that would be like a really awesome thing for GI Joe to like beat out a Marvel HasLab. Not that I wish ill will on Marvel or the Marvel guys or anything like that, but I just you know to that would send like a I feel like that would send a big message to the corporates at Hasbro that says, look, GI Joe is super popular right now, so start putting a lot of emphasis on GI Joe. And I think they have. I mean, if you look at GI Joe over the past couple years, they definitely, you can see Hasbro has put more emphasis in it. But I felt like if the and I, again, don't get me wrong, over 25, they ended up over 26,000 backers. I think that was pretty impressive. But but if they had beaten the Galactus, that to me would have just been like a really really cool thing to see happen for GI Joe. My biggest problem with Black Series Star Wars is, so first of all, and I understand there are definitely people out there that like to get all the different versions of stormtroopers and clone troopers and all that, but to me, I'm like, I've had enough stormtroopers and clone troopers. I don't need it in like every color of the rainbow. So I I feel like when I see all the when I see a new stormtrooper or some variation of the stormtrooper or whatever get released, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And so, and then on top of that, you just get the straight up repaints, the Carbonite collection and stuff like that. And it's like, I just I feel like the Star Wars line has kind of been on cruise control for a while, and so I just have not been that interested in Star Wars stuff here recently. And I mean, I've enjoyed the Disney Plus. I liked Obi-Wan for the most part. Um, I love the Mandalorian, but I just, and part of it also may just be that with the delays, with Hasbro's delays, it's like we're just now starting to get season 2 Mandalorian figures and things like that. So it's like, if they could get the stuff out closer to when the season actually drops, that would probably help. What's up, Julio? Julio started collecting because of the classified line. Love the line. Also loving the 3-0 line. The 12-inch stuff, I don't really collect 12-inch, so I've not gotten any of the 3-0, but yeah, those have looked pretty good. I get a little tired of Snake Eyes. It's like, again, oh my god, Snake Eyes again, and everybody of course has got to do Snake Eyes. But yeah, those 12-inch figures have looked pretty good. I mean, I got the Mezca 112 Destro, so I'm interested to see how that one turns out. I didn't get the Roadblock, but yeah, I haven't pre-ordered any of the other 112 GI Joe figures, but I'm definitely interested to see how that Destro turns out. And then like the Super 7 Ultimates, I've got that first wave. I haven't pre-ordered any of the other waves for GI Joe Ultimates yet. I'm waiting to get my hands on the first wave to see how they are. But those have definitely kind of interested me as well. Bean says, can someone start a Joe line with Doc? We definitely need a classified Doc. Like I was not too impressed with the announcement of like the Big Ben figure and that Cobra Trooper that they announced here, the two they announced most recently. I was like, there are so many characters from like the original lineups that should be getting figures before we start seeing anybody like Big Ben or something. Um, so I definitely am with you that Doc needs a a figure here in the near future. Bean says She-Hulk was a huge fourth wall breaker since the Byrne run back. Yep, I think it was more the '90s, but yeah. And from what I understand, that this series takes a lot of nods from that run of She-Hulk. Like I'm expecting, like I saw a headline, and I haven't seen She-Hulk, so we're not talking spoilers here, but I saw a headline saying something like Daredevil's not going to be as serious in the She-Hulk series as he was in the Netflix series. And I'm like, no duh. I mean, I'm sure, you know, when you look at like Thor Love and Thunder, Thor's not a character that I attribute tons and tons of comedy with. So when they throw in all that comedy in a movie like Thor, I feel like it's way over the top. But She-Hulk is a different situation. She-Hulk is a lot like in some ways Deadpool. I mean, depending on where she shows up. You know, when she's part of the Avengers and stuff, maybe not, she doesn't have as much comedic to her, but in a lot of her own standalone series she did. So, you know, I have no problem with if like when Daredevil shows up in the She-Hulk series that he's not as serious as he was in like the Netflix series. But what's up, man? Thor Golden Cub? What's up? Joseph says he likes Quick Kick. The moment they put out a figure of him, he's grabbing it. Toysha's put me on the top of his tier list. Nice. I gotta tell you, if you ever wonder if this isn't a small hobby or not, just how big that tier list thing that a guy who nobody had ever heard of before put out on his YouTube channel, how much attention that thing has gotten. I mean, that just shows you how small this hobby actually is. Or see, well, see, there are characters where the humor it fits great, and then there are characters where it doesn't. So when you look at Thor, I'm with you right there. But when I look at She-Hulk, and again, I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. I don't know the exact tone of what the series for She-Hulk, but I've seen the trailers and everything. So if they've added, a light kind of comedic tone to She-Hulk, then I think She-Hulk is a character where that fits a great deal because, I feel like She-Hulk's most successful comic book run was the John Byrne series back in the late 80s or 90s. Um, and so the fact if they're basing this MCU show on that a lot, I think that's perfectly reasonable. Thor is not a comedic type character, so when they go way over the top on the comedy with Thor, I feel like it takes away from the character a bit. But She-Hulk 100%, just like Deadpool, I don't have a huge problem with that. Did MCU mess up Kang? I don't know. We haven't seen Kang enough to know yet. I've not read Slot's run on She-Hulk, but I feel like before the Byrne run of She-Hulk, She-Hulk was like not even a C-rated character, and that series. I was actively collecting comics back in the day. I have all those issues still, and so that run of She-Hulk really kind of put her on the map, in my opinion. So I mean, I guess maybe when she joined the Fantastic Four, that also helped her get a lot of notoriety. But that John Byrne run of She-Hulk was very, that's a classic run. That I saw the trailer where they're in the car and they're talking about Steve Rogers and whether I guess whether he's had sex or not. And then they have the car accident. And again, I'm just speaking from what I saw in the trailer. Which that car accident to me was like I feel like that was like a nod, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that was a nod to the original Incredible Hulk TV series, which of course in that show Bruce Banner was in the car accident with his wife in the rain, and the car flips over down the hill. So I felt like when I saw that scene with the car flipping, I felt like somebody was like paying a nod to the original Incredible Hulk TV series. Cousin, thank you, man. Super chat donation, always appreciated. Thanks to the news about select Beta Ray Bill. Shame a pic of him with a closed mouth has since been taken down. Hope non-shout head is still gonna pick me up a couple of. So yes, apparently that one image you're talking about with the different head sculpt, I don't believe it's going to be included with at least the regular release. A lot of times, and I don't know this for sure, it's also possible it's just something that ended up getting scrapped altogether. But a lot of times they'll do like a Disney Shop Disney exclusive version. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see that head sculpt eventually, but I don't think it's going to be included with the regular release that should be going up for pre-order like tonight at midnight or tomorrow. And that image apparently was not supposed to be released. It got put out there by accident. And also they screwed up. Originally they had listed the figure, I think, saying it was like 8.5 inches tall, and it's actually I think 10 inches. Let me. Yeah. So the Beta Ray Bill is going to stand 10 inches tall. But originally, in the original information they put out, it said 8.5. So Shop Disney's not bad if you're buying something that's in stock. I wouldn't recommend them for pre-ordering stuff, mainly because of my experience with the X Force pack. But I've never had any problem with something that's actually in stock. And usually when those Marvel Select figures go up, they're actually available for actual purchase. They're not pre-orders. Now, again, I'm not saying there will be a Beta Ray Bill Shop Disney exclusive. I'm just saying sometimes they do extra accessories that end up getting put on like a very exclusive version. Turtle Day says he's loading up on Entertainment Earth because they have the free shipping for the month of August on everything. Isn't it $39? But they've actually had that going for a couple of months now. If you buy like up to 30, I think, let me double check that for you, but I think it's $39. Yeah, if you spend $39 or more at Big Bad, or sorry, Entertainment Earth, then you get free shipping. And they've been doing it for most of the summer, so I don't know if it's going to end in August. And they actually just sent me you might want to hold off because I think they're going to start this promotion where like if you select like an affiliate link, you will get an additional 10% off. I haven't, I don't want to, I just got an email today about it, so I don't want to, I haven't looked at it closely enough, but mentioning something about customers, they're going to offer customers an additional 10% off. So, Bean, thank you, man. A gift for you on the day of your 60,000 subscriber, even though you hit that before. Thank you, man. Much appreciated. Yep. Big Bad Toy Store. If you put all your stuff in a pile of loot, you get $4 shipping. It's hard to beat that. It's not free technically, but Ruben, do I know when the 112 alligator? Are you talking about that figure from that independent company? I forget the name of the figure, but it looks kind of like almost kind of like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle type figure or something. I don't know when it's supposed to ship off the top of my head, but let me see if I can find it. I can't find it because I can't remember the name of the figure, so I don't know what the RC, would I buy a Bruce the Shark Jaws? Well, they're doing a Bruce the Shark, or at least that's what they've been telling us. But I don't know. I can't say Jaws has ever been a license where I've like been dying for action figures and toys. But if it was cool, if it and wasn't like, and somewhat reasonably priced, I could maybe see myself getting that. But it wouldn't be up there. It wouldn't be like a definite, oh yeah, 100%. There are movies out there where I sometimes look and I'm like, man, that movie really doesn't need an action figure line for it. And Jaws is kind of one of those movies. Neil, do I ever experience burnout on having to report on the toy industry all the time? Yeah. I mean, I don't know if burnout's the right word, but definitely it can be frustrating at times. Um, but it's still, I mean, out of all the jobs out there in the world, I mean, it's hard to come up with a better one. That's not to say it's perfect, and again, definitely there are times where it can be frustrating, but for the most part, I've been very fortunate to be able to do this for a living, especially for 20 years. If you'd asked me 20 years ago when I started my websites, would I still be doing this 20 years later? I would have probably told you no. But yeah, definitely. Sometimes things can get stale. Sometimes, you can just have like time periods where there's like no news, and that gets kind of frustrating. And like especially like reporting news and like trying to come up with content for an engaging like video, that's definitely very frustrating. I mean, obviously when I started the websites 20 years ago, YouTube didn't even exist. So the YouTube aspect of all of this and social media in general, um, it's it definitely, when you're doing like 5 videos a day or a week, whether it's a review, I mean, I used to do a lot more reviews, but honestly, I just got kind of, I wasn't as critical. Like I'm not as to be complete. It has nothing to do with shilling or anything like that. I'm just not as critical about a lot of these things as other people. Um, there's certainly if a figure has a broken joint or if it has a super bad paint applicator or something, yeah, those things definitely bother me. But there are things I see people who get like really upset about with a figure, and I'm like, man, that didn't bother me at all. And so in trying to create something that is interesting for people to tune in every day. I mean, news, you know, and I've said this before, I don't really do these videos to try and entertain you. I do them to provide you information. If you're into action figure collecting, hopefully I'm able to provide you information that is useful to you. But I don't do it, and I don't try and do it. I really just don't generally try and do it in an entertaining way. I don't like insert little memes and try and be funny. I have a very monotone voice, to be absolutely honest. So I watch my own videos sometimes, and I get bored listening to myself sometimes. So it's very difficult to come up with content in a video format like this that is interesting day in and day out, weekly, and so that's why I always give my, even if I'm not like a fan of somebody, I try and give if they're out there putting out some type of content that is in some way benefiting this hobby that we all partake in, you got to give them credit just for, doing that. RC, did I see Talker Art's response to your video about him? I did not. But honestly, I don't really care. It wouldn't change my opinion of what he said. If he apologized, and it's not me he should be apologizing to, but if he's defending what he said, then I really don't care. It doesn't, again, change my opinion. If someone else, somebody else sent me a link and was like, oh man, this guy is like talking about your video or something, and like, even people, I've had a lot of people come out, like just reach out to me and say, oh man, I really appreciate you putting that video out, and that's great, but that's not why I put that video out. I put that video out because something needed to be said to say that is not acceptable behavior. And the reason why I called out that the behavior was the issue, it wasn't the person. I don't care about Talker Art. I don't care. I don't know Talker Art. I don't know him personally. I don't have a grudge against him. I don't hate him. I don't like him, but I just don't know him. I met him briefly one time, and that's it. So, but it was the thing that he said, and he put the video out himself. So that's what called attention to him. It's not easy to talk about something like that without actually bringing attention to the person. But it's a double-edged sword, because when I talked about Talker Art, I'm now, people who maybe had never even heard of the guy before are now, they're now hearing about the guy. So it really wasn't about Talker Art per se. It was what was said. And I felt like, especially those who were trying to defend it, like, oh, well, he's just giving Hasbro a hard time because they need to get, there's too many people shilling out there, and he's like making it cool to give. And I'm like, no, that is complete bullshit. You can critique somebody, you can give somebody constructive criticism, and you can do it in a way that is not inappropriate, like what was seen in that video. So, like I said, I've not seen, if he made a response video to me specifically, I feel like that's unfortunate. It sounds like maybe he missed the point then. If he made a video addressing what he said, I mean, I saw Shartimus Prime's video where he talked about it, and he said that he talked to Talker Art, and Talker Art had said, like, yeah, he realized what he said was inappropriate. So I feel like Talker Art, at least behind the scenes, has acknowledged what he did was wrong. Whether he's addressed that publicly, whether he's let his viewers know that, whether he apologized to the guys from Hasbro, I have no idea. I don't really care. But that's basically where I come from. And again, my video was, while it addressed what Talker Art did, because he's the one that did it and he put it up on his YouTube channel, for everyone to see, which made it a public discussion. That's why I talked about it, but it was not about him specifically. It was about saying what was said and then like trying to normalize that, like that was okay. I I don't in that particular case. I mean, I would agree with you, Adams, that if I were the Hasbro guy, I wouldn't have even brought it up. But obviously, it bothered them, and I can understand why. So, and I don't even know if they probably knew that they were being recorded, um, but I would, if it were me personally, I certainly wouldn't have approached him like that. But at the same time, I don't think they did anything inappropriate. So, and like I said, and I know because I know there are people out there who just like drama. They just, oh, this guy's talking about that guy, and that's what all they really care about. They just want to see people going at it with one another and like creating this drama. I don't have a personal opinion. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, Talker Art is 100% this racist asshole. I was very clear on that I don't know who Talker Art is, or I don't know him personally. I don't know whether he's racist. His comments, what he said in that particular case, I felt was very inappropriate. And then I saw people trying to defend it or even saying like they respected that. And that is what really prompted me to make that video, because I feel like if we don't say something, then it gets normalized, and then all of a sudden it's acceptable behavior. And that, even though I realize that even with me calling it out, it's not really going to change much. People, if somebody's out there defending that kind of behavior, whether I sit there and say that that's not cool is probably not going to change those people's minds. But I still felt like it needed to be said, and I don't regret saying it. And if somebody disagrees with me, it's not going to change my opinion in any way. But again, I'm not sitting here. I'm not sitting here saying Talker Art is a bad person. I'm not saying that you know you know it, yeah, basically I'm not really speaking to Talker Art per se, as in like I'm trying to like I hate that guy and I just and he sucks and that's not my point here. So if that's what you take away from my video, if you're focused on Talker Art, you're missing the point. I guess is the best way to say it. If all you can think about is Talker Art and what he might respond or anything along those lines, you're kind of missing the point. It is a type of behavior that I just feel like, and racism this idea, you're not, most people I don't think are born racist. Racism, a lot of times stems from ignorance. Okay. And you can easily be ignorant. I've heard like Talker Art, people say that Talker Art didn't even realize what he said was bad. And I think that's very possible, that he honestly did not understand what he said and how it came off to somebody like those guys at Hasbro. He may not have truly understood what he had done, but that doesn't mean that it's okay. It just means it needs to be addressed. But if he realizes what he said was a mistake and he apologized for it, my feeling would be that's great, because again, racism generally stems from ignorance, and it is something people can unlearn. Basically, it's not something you're born with. It's not like you're inherently born racist. You are generally, racism stems from ignorance, and so the best way to combat racism is education, essentially. All right, we're getting way off track. I really don't want us turning into Talker Art or any of that bullshit, because we're here to celebrate 60,000 subscribers, and so let's go on to something else. Actually, you know what? It is 8 o'clock, so I wanted to kind of keep this one to an hour tonight because I got a busy day tomorrow. I've got some people, we got doing some work on the house, and so I'm actually got to pull a lot of this stuff down behind me because they've got to get to the breaker box for some work they're doing. So I got a busy day tomorrow. So let us, I'm going to do the drawing now. So this is how it's going to work. I'm going to give away $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store. I'm just going to sit here and scroll through all the comments, and wherever the cursor lands, whatever name the cursor lands on, will be the person I call out. And that person will then have 24 hours to email me and claim their prize. Basically, they'll just need to give me their name and their email address that they want to use with Big Bad Toy Store. I will then send that information to Big Bad Toy Store, and they will set you up with $100 store credit. So, and I will put my email address in the video comments below, or not video comments, but video description below, so that the winner can claim the prize. And they got 24 hours, so basically they'll have until this time tomorrow night to claim the prize. So if I call somebody's name who is not currently still here watching the video, hopefully they will come back and see that their name was called and claim the prize. But so I'm closing my eyes now here. And wherever the cursor lands, it looks like Walrus Agent is our winner. So, dude, you've got 24 hours. My email is jay@enewseye.com. Just shoot me an email. Again, I'll just need your name and your email address that you want to use with Big Bad Toy Store. But if you get back to me within 24 hours, then we will get you set up with $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store. So congrats to him. Hopefully he's still here. Give him a minute, see if he's going to chime in. I'm not seeing him chiming in. Oh, wait, there he is. All right, man. Cool. So again, email jay@enewseye.com, jay@enewseye.com, but I'll have it in the video description, or video description when this becomes a regular video, so that you can email me. But again, just my way of saying thanks for all you guys who watch the videos, subscribe to the channel. It's much appreciated. And with that, we are going to call it a wraps because I am going to go watch She-Hulk. Hopefully it will be good. Oh, Dan Who's Reviews. What's up, man? You should be working on that War Machine review, man. Dan Who's got the new War Machine on the retro card back. So if he hasn't posted it already, Lord Venger, do I block off the other side of the basement? No. Well, kinda. So I made this a room, basically. The side of the basement is kind of a room, whereas the cabinets back there act as a wall, but there's an entranceway, like over here, that you can't really see. So you just go out, and that takes you into the rest of the basement. So I kind of closed off this area, but it's not completely blocked off, if that makes any sense. All right, so gonna call it a night. Gonna go watch She-Hulk, but again, I probably am not gonna have a video up tomorrow because again of everything going on with the housework. So I might try, if there's, it's actually been, today was a really slow news day, so I don't know, but if I don't get a news video up this week, maybe on Saturday, then look for one next week. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. It's always appreciated. And until next time, I'll catch you later. Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.